it out, air it out. I had to clear it out, clear it out. I feel like Superman to tear it down. Call as a quarterback and send him out. I feel that air it out, air it out. I had to clear it out, clear it out. I feel like Superman to tear it down. Call as a quarterback and send him out. Take off. I'm on a rocket, a space dog. Bought a new car from Elon, wanna race. I've been asking how long is it gonna take. I've been cracking the car, had to break it safe. I've been riding my wrongs, had to change my ways. I was stuck in one place, so I had to shake. They try holding me down, but I found my way. Riding rich and so bicycle love me. Ride away, then my heart went on ice again. Find the balance, my patience been going thin. In the field every day till I reach the end. I've been up on your side like we out of bounds. Ain't no way that they think that it's stopping now. I've been waiting for my turn to come around. I've been waiting for my turn to come around. Air it out, air it out. I had to clear it out, clear it out. I feel like Superman to tear it down. Call as a quarterback and send him out. I feel that air it out, air it out. I had to clear it out, clear it out. I feel like Superman to tear it down. Call as a quarterback and send him out.
What is up, football fans? Welcome to the Air It Out podcast, brought to you by Inside the Hashes. I'm your humble host. My name is Avery, and I'm joined by two of my favorite people in the world, two of the best analysts in the world, Coach Braxton, Mr. Darius. They're in the building. Coach, say what's up to the people. It's been a while.
What's going on? Long time no see. Honestly, it's been a long, hard season, but I'm back and I'm ready to get started. Let's get into this all-season talk, man. Let's get into it.
This guy. Yes, very, very sad loss for your Baltimore Ravens. We're sorry.
Oh, see, I'm not even talking about that.
Oh,
it's the fact that we had to see the Chiefs again.
You're talking about this loss.
Oh, I don't care. That's not my team. I'm worried, and I'm sad that the Chiefs won again. So now we have to hear for another year.
Got it.
Patrick Mahomes, it's just so
understood.
great.
I understood. My bad. There was some confusion there.
Yeah. Y'all gonna learn. Ain't no green over here.
Okay.
Ain't no green over here. I'm good.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. Okay. All right. Got it. Darius, what's up, man? How you feeling?
What's going on? It's good to be back. And Darren, y'all stop. Your team was supposed to do. Y'all had one job. Y'all had one job.
This is not the time for
the whole world. We did not want a Taylor Swift bowl, and what did they do? They went in your house and took your food.
I'm gonna say the best way I can after all this time. That was a terrible game plan going again. There's no reason why the number one rushing offense runs 8 times. Period. Again,
somebody got to get fired.
Terrible game plan.
Somebody got to get fired. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
get him out of there.
That didn't make any sense at all. But that's not what we're talking about today. Today we're talking about some off-season stuff. I don't know if you guys know, but this week is one of my favorite weeks of the off-season, okay? It is Combine Week. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The NFL Combine has kicked off this week. And I'm excited. It started on Thursday. We got to see, I believe it was the D-line and some of the linebackers. And then yesterday we got to see the DBs and the tight ends. Today we get to see the quarterback. And in a couple short minutes, actually, we get to see the quarterbacks, the receivers, and the running backs. It's going to be a phenomenal weekend. And then obviously tomorrow we get to see some O-linemen. The big guys are going to be moving around. I love it. So listen, y'all, I want to ask you guys a quick question about the NFL Combine for today, right? So we had the slate of today. Again, the quarterbacks, the wide receivers, and the running backs. So today I want to know, who do you want to see? Who are you interested in seeing perform today, whether it's a quarterback, a wide receiver, or a running back? Who's the one guy that you're like, you know what? This guy has a chance to improve his draft stock. Or, you know what? I want to see if this guy if the hype around him is the real deal. Like, is this guy? Who's the guy you want to see? Darius, I'm going to start with you. Tell me who's the one guy who you're looking forward to seeing in this Combine Day today.
It's funny we talk about the Combine because now we're seeing a lot more these high-end players, right? Like these players saying, we're not going to touch the Combine. We're going to wait till our pro day. Guys like Caleb Williams, that's somebody who I would want to see just because I didn't get a chance to watch a lot of his games. Jaden Daniels, right? Dual threat compared to Lamar Jackson. I would like to see him at the combine, but I have to wait till the pro day. I'm be a little bit of a biased person, a little bit of a homer. I'm gonna take a safe pick. I think he is gonna perform tomorrow. Drake Maine. I want to see how he performs just because there's comparisons to him with the likes of Josh Allen. I want to see him throw the ball, run the 40, compete. And I think that'll, rise his draft stock because he's one of the top 3 quarterbacks, but a great combine performance and a great pro day. Now you're looking at maybe the number 1 overall pick or definitely a top 2 lock pick. And then now Jaden Daniels might fall to 3 or he might fall to 4. Teams might start to trade up for him. So I'm going to take Drake May. I want to see how he performs. I'm really looking more forward to the quarterback position just because New England, we need a quarterback. Obviously, we're in that stage where we do need a quarterback. And I would love to see how he performs in the combine. And then pro days, obviously, Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, even like Marvin Harrison Jr. I want to see those guys play. But Drake May, for me, I just want to see how he's going to perform, especially when the other 2 guys aren't performing. I think this is a time, like you said, Avery, where his stock really can rise. Now the spotlight is more so on him because he's going to be one of the top 3 quarterbacks that's going to be throwing the ball or even just performing. It's outside of like JJ McCarthy, the guy from Michigan, JJ McCarthy. So Drake May for me.
I like it. I'm not mad at it at all. I mean, you said something there, though, that you guys need a quarterback or that you guys are in the hunt for a quarterback. I don't think necessarily the Patriots need a quarterback. I'm not off the Mac Jones train just yet.
I don't know what you watched.
Hold on. Okay. I'm not
Aaron,
off the
Mac Jones train. Games I watched?
Hold on. I'm not off the Mac Jones train just yet. And there's a reason why. Number 1, I don't think Mac Jones is going to be that guy for y'all, right? So I think if you have the opportunity, yeah, go ahead and draft the quarterback. But what I'm saying is I don't think that you guys necessarily. I think there's more holes, number 1, on the team than at quarterback. Number 2, I don't think Mac Jones has been given a fair shot, kind of like Justin Fields, where you have multiple coordinators. At one point, you had a defensive coordinator being the offensive coordinator in his first 5 years. It's like no quarterback is going to succeed when you constantly shift the coordinators over and over and over. Like that's just not something. Unless we're talking about the anomalies. Again, Mac Jones is not an anomaly, so we got to stop comparing people to anomalies, stop comparing them to exception, and just compare them to the rule. So I don't think it's a Mac Jones thing all the way. Mac Jones has to improve without question, right? The turnovers are absolutely ridiculous. Some of the decision-making he was making was pretty putrid. But I think that also some of those things are factors of being a little over inundated with too much information because it's like I was just brought into an offense 1 year and then the next year all the offense and all the language switched and the expectations and then the next year the offense and then all the language and the expectation. And so you get all that in your head, it makes it pretty tough for anybody to succeed. However, with that being said, I do understand the sentiment of saying, hey, we're in the market for a quarterback. I just feel like me personally, this would be a Bill Belichick situation where they trade back and stockpile a bunch of picks, get a very, very valuable free agent veteran quarterback to come in the meantime because there's so many other holes on that team.
I'll say this really quickly. I'm not completely blaming Mac Jones, right? Like you look at his rookie season, went to the playoffs, right? Pro Bowler. And that was the promise. It was promise right there. And I agree. Multiple offensive coordinators that will mess up. The interceptions. That will mess up with his mental. But at the same time, the holes in the organization right now is at the biggest position. In my opinion, it's the biggest position because defensively they're good. You can draft. They're gonna draft some young players and sign some free agencies, whatever. But offensively, the biggest position that you need to really succeed in the NFL is the quarterback position. And if you're not truly sold on Mac Jones, which I don't think they are, you go draft a quarterback. And then if you want to draft a quarterback and keep Mac Jones, I'm perfectly fine with that. If you want to draft a quarterback, trade Mac Jones, bring in a veteran. But if you look at the market for quarterbacks right now for a veteran, it's only really Joe Flacco and then possibly Baker Mayfield, depending on what he does with Tampa Bay, if he's going to sign with Tampa Bay, in my opinion. Now, is Joe Flacco a great mentor quarterback? There has been issues with him being a mentor quarterback. I think he's starting to understand that. Baker Mayfield, if you sign Baker Mayfield, I don't think you're going to sign him as your bridge quarterback. He can possibly be a long-term future quarterback. We saw what he did his first year with Tampa Bay. We saw what he did with Cleveland, his rookie year with Cleveland. So it's going to be interesting to see what this team does. But in my opinion, I definitely think with the number 3 overall pick, you draft a quarterback. If you're not going to draft a quarterback, trade back stockpile picks. If the guy is there, that guy that you want that's not there,
that's where I'm leaning
and get those picks, because now you can really.
That's kind of where I'm leaning. I feel like if you trade back, you have a chance to really fill a lot of other holes. Like, number one, you don't have anybody to throw the ball to. Like,
but they also have almost $100 million in cap space.
Exactly my point, which is like you can go out and get a very stable veteran quarterback, let's say a Kirk Cousins, let's say a Joe Flacco, a Baker Mayfield, somebody like that who can stem the tide. And if you build a team around them, like you guys could be one off season away from contending again. So, but with that being said,
quarterback away from
Coach, contending. I want to get to you. Who's the one guy you want to see today in the combine, whether it be quarterback, receiver, or running back?
Really quickly, Mac Jones was the starter for the last at least 3 years. I don't care what coordinators it is. I really don't want to hear none of that. Why? Because you were the undoubted starter, and for your team now to completely say and have it be like one of the worst kept secrets that you want a quarterback in the first round. Yeah, now you out of there. I'm sorry. They don't have that same faith. And it's a new coaching staff, so I'm sorry. It is what it is. You're not him.
He's not going to be there. I don't think he's going to be there. I think they do. I'm saying I don't think he was the sole problem is my point.
Oh, no. Yeah, definitely not the sole problem. But go get a quarterback. And honestly, as much as Baker Mayfield, Kirk Cousins, all of this sounds nice, you're sitting at number 3. If Drake May is there, you go get him. Or, and hear me out, if you like Michael Penix a little bit better, and he drops out of that top 3 to 5, try to trade back in that top 10. Still acquire picks, still go get your quarterback of the future. But no matter what, get your quarterback of the future, because this is probably going to be the best QB draft, at least for the next year or two. Other than the number 1, number 2 overall pick guys with the Arch Mannings and things like that coming up, the Quentin Ewers. But other than that, go get your quarterback. But for me personally, I'm looking at the running backs. I'm looking at receivers. And if we really talking, I'm not even looking at the top names like the Xavier Worthies, the Romeo Akabugus, all that. No. I'm looking at a Brian Thomas Jr. I'm looking at a Blake Corum. I'm looking at a Frank Gore Jr.
Blake Corum is the number 1 running back. Like, he's considered to be the number 1.
So listen. Frank Gore Jr. is just Frank Gore Jr. Like, I don't know what y'all want me to say with that one. But Blake Corum, with that Michigan team, after the career he's had, I love that type of a player. And I just want to see him produce. But the one I'm most interested in seeing is Brian Thomas Jr. He played for LSU. I know he's a solid guy. And everything I'm seeing right now, and hear me out, I see another Mike Evans possibly. If he has a solid situation to go to. I see another Mike Evans. Big, tall, can run, can get it at the highest point. The only thing that worries me is how is the route running? Can he be a little more crisp in his routes? Can he really execute? That is the only thing I worry about with him. And I would love to see that happen today. Can I see those crisp routes? Can I see you getting in and out of your breaks quickly and being able to definitely cause separation just from your routes alone? We know you can go high point. We know you can get the 50-50 ball. Can you show us that you're a top 10 receiver rather than a top 25 receiver?
Okay. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all. Definitely a big body guy that, like you said, in the right situation, he really could be somebody. He could be somebody.
You ain't Ravens.
He could be somebody. But For me, I'm going to actually stick with your position. I'm going to go wide receiver as well. There's one guy that I'm looking at, and that's Rome Odunze. I want to see how Rome Odunze runs. Obviously, he's a burner. We know that he's a burner. There's rumors that he's probably going to run, sub 4.3 in the 4.2 range. He's come out and stated that if he runs anything more than a 4.3, he's going to be upset. Similar to Nate Wiggins, who just ran a 4.28. So I think I'm really excited to see what Rome Odunze does, but it's not really the 40 time or the speed that I'm kind of looking forward to. It's more so the route running. One of the things that I questioned with watching film was he wasn't as shifty as I thought he was for somebody who's that fast. And I don't know if that's a situation where you're so fast you don't know how to stop, or if it's a situation where you're so fast you've never had to be shifty. You can just run around guys or run past guys, right? But a lot of the film I saw, he was getting tackled by the first guy. He wasn't really shifting around guys. He wasn't juking people out their shoes. He wasn't doing those things. And the same when it came to his routes. It wasn't like he was creating separation because of his routes. He was creating separation because of his speed. And so I want to see, is he going to be crisp in and out of his cuts? Is he going to be crisp in and out of his at the top of his breaks and different things like that? So I'm really curious to see what Rome Odunze does, because I think he's a guy that if he shows that he can do those things, without question, he's going to be wide receiver number 2 coming off the board. If that's the case, but if he showcases that maybe he's just a speed guy, I can see his draft stock falling. So I want to see if he can run some routes, because obviously Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be number 1. After that, it could potentially be Rome Odunze. So I'm excited to see what he does.
Let me add this one thing again real quick.
Okay.
Only because I've heard really nothing up until almost close to the combine and the Super Bowl. I kind of want to see Luke McCaffrey from Rice, brother of Christian and all of these things. I just want to see, because I've never really seen a Rice game. So I want to see if he actually is just like his brother. Is he closer to his dad? What is it with this kid that I'm hearing so much about him now? Because I didn't hear this much when he was actually playing. So is it just hype, or is it just that bloodline that we're hearing about right now? I'm just curious on that.
I like it. I'm not mad at it at all. All right, guys, look, we're going to jump into our next topic because the combine's getting ready to start in about 15 minutes. I don't want to hold you guys. So with that being said, I want to know, Coach, I'm going to start with you. I want you to rank your top 5 quarterbacks, wide receivers, and running backs that are coming out this year. Your top 5 quarterbacks, wide receivers, and running backs. It doesn't have to be elongated, super long explanations or anything like that. I just kind of want to know where your head is, since we have the quarterbacks, wide receivers, and running backs today. How do you rank them? And go.
Cool. QB is honestly pretty simple. Caleb Williams number 1. Drake May is number 2 for me. Then it's kind of a muddle between 3 Jaden Daniels, 4 Penix, and honestly 5 is Bo Nix for me. As much as Bo Nix has been around, I like him. I just like Bo Nix. I'm sorry, it is what it is. The only other person that might be in that conversation for me is maybe a Spencer Radcliffe. But yeah, so that's the top 5 for there. When it comes to the running backs, honestly, after Blake Corum, Frank Gore Jr., they're all role guys to me. I don't see any true big body names that I really want to go about. So you can kind of toss them anywhere after that. It's Blake Corum, Frank Gore Jr. for me. And then when it comes to receivers, obviously Marvin Harrison is number 1. I like, honestly, Malik Napier number 2. Rome Odunze is number 3 for me. Brendan Rice is going to round out at number 5. Now, a lot of people might not say this guy is number 4. He might have been a little bit higher, a little bit lower. I like Xavier Worthy because I feel like he is just going to be absolutely a speed demon. I feel like when he gets to the NFL, he's going to maybe be just a bigger version of a Deshaun Jackson.
Okay.
At least to start off.
Not mad at it at all. Not mad at it at all. Okay. Talk to me, Darius. Who you got? Top 5 quarterbacks, wide receivers, running backs. You're muted, sir. You are muted.
My bad. All right, for my list with quarterbacks, it's basically the same, right? We all can agree the number 1 is going to be Caleb Williams. Number 2 is where it gets tricky because number 2, I'm gonna go Drake May. 3, Jaden Daniels. 4, I'm gonna go Bo Nix. 4, I just like you said, it's something I like his toughness. Like mentally, he's just tough. Like sometimes that's what you want in your quarterback. You want a
He
tough
just
quarterback
plays, man.
that just plays the game. Like
The
that's
player.
what I want in a quarterback. Just plays the game. Bo Nix. Number 5, Michael Penix Jr. I don't think he's a first round quarterback, but I think he's gonna slip and fall into the second round. And I think given the situation that he's in, he's going to make the most of it, depending on what team drafts him. And if they groom him the right way, they don't just let him go out there and start.
He's going to be another Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't know. I think
That's not a bad thing. Teddy was solid.
I think he has a little bit more of a higher ceiling than that. I think what scares teams is the injuries. Like, I think that's what kind of scares teams.
Teddy Bridgewater.
Teddy
had a high ceiling for that injury, man.
You're right. Now you're right. Running back.
He can throw the football.
Blake Gorham, number 1. Frank Gore Jr. A lot of these guys on this list, I think they're gonna prove you wrong. Like Jonathan Brooks, I think he's gonna go into a situation where he can be like an RB1. Trey Benson, same situation. That's gonna be my 4. And then Bucky Irvin. I think these guys are gonna go not in the first round, definitely like in later rounds, but we saw what happens when these scouts sleep on this talent. Like look at Puka from the Rams. He went in the 5th round, 6th round, and then he just literally played extremely well. And he had one of the best receivers to learn from, Cooper Kupp. So
he was perfect.
He went into the perfect situation, and that's what I think most of it's going to come down to. Guys going into the perfect situation. I mean, wide receivers, Marvin Harris Jr. The guy's a dog. I was able to watch a couple of Ohio State games. The guy's unguardable. And I think it's going to translate into the NFL where he's going to be a nightmare, a matchup nightmare, his rookie season. And that's very telling. With his size and speed, it's going to be crazy. Malik Neighbors, he has potential to be the number 1 wide receiver taken off the board. But I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is just so good that it's like, to me, it's 1A and 1B. It's 1A and 1B. LSU, to me, breeds some of one of the, if we look at their wide receiver history, Odell, right? Jamar Chase, the list goes on and on. Justin Jefferson.
Jarvis.
Say that again?
Jarvis Landry.
That's wide receiver honestly. Brian Thomas Jr., we talked about him. And Braden Rice, son of Jerry Rice. I think he's a sleeper. I think a lot of people need to watch out for him. Not because of who his dad is, but I think he's going to want to get out of his dad's shadow, and I think he's going to want to prove everybody that although my dad is, arguably one of the best wide receivers, I'm going to make my own. I'm going to make my own path, right? So I think he's going to perform well this year, and whatever team gets him, again, it's all about the situation, the quarterback, the coaching staff. But if he goes into a right situation, the right team, the right culture, I mean, that might be a steal of the draft right there.
I like it. I'm not mad at that. I
want to just throw this out there. Bears draft Caleb Williams, number 1 overall, come back in the 2nd round, grab Brendan Rice to pair with him and DJ Moore.
They don't have to do that though. They can keep.
They don't have to, but I'm telling you,
we talk about that.
I mean, let's keep it funky. They may not even have to do that. I mean, because you got to remember, they've got 2 top 10 picks. So they could go number 1, Caleb Williams, and then bump Rice. They could get Neighbors or a Doomsday, or they could
go defense. Why go defense? You're still a young team. You now have a rookie quarterback. Build over.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I get it.
But they could.
Listen, 45 catches for 12 tubs last year. That's a good connection to keep together.
They could. I mean, they could even go tight end.
Brock
They
Bowers.
get Brock Bowers.
Even though Cole Kmet has shown he's a
Cole
solid guy.
Kmet is a dog.
I'm saying, but you go
solid.
so now you got double tight plus DJ Moore and Caleb. Like I'm just, and honestly,
There's
because
that
they're going to have a high second round draft pick. Now you're talking about getting one of the top 5 running backs as well. If you're not sold, like, I'm just saying they got
options.
They got options. All right, for me, I'm going to go top 5 running backs first. So top 5 running backs. Number 5, I'm going to say is Audric Estime. I think he's a really good running back out of Notre Dame. Shout out to Notre Dame. I think they just play good football. They're not at the top tier football teams right now. But they're consistently playing good football. Typically, right? They're not typically getting blown out. They're just a very consistent team, and they're always in the mix to be a viable team to make the college football playoff and different things like that. And Audric Estime, I believe, is one of those people who is kind of getting overlooked in this draft when it comes to running backs. But I think he could be a key guy for some people. Number 4, I'm going to go Trey Benson. I think Trey Benson out of Florida State is a really good back. I think he's going to be somebody who can I can see him being a 3-down back, but I'm interested to see what he does today when it comes to catching the football and making sure that he's, short-handed. Obviously, he can run the football, but I want to make sure that he is a 3-down back. I think he can be that. Number 3, I'm going to go with Bucky Irving. I think that guy. It's funny. Oregon has had some really talented guys coming out of the backfield for probably like the last 10 years, but not too many names that stick, that have like really made a huge impact outside of what is his name? Big guy. Golly. One with the Patriots. Jeez Louise. LeGarrette Blount. Yeah. Anyway, so number 2, I'm gonna go Jonathan Brooks out of Texas. I think Jonathan Brooks is a really good running back. I think he actually might be the most well-rounded running back coming out this year, but there's still a little bit more I want to see from an explosion standpoint and from a vision standpoint, right? And so that's the reason, because to you, like coach, like you had a 1A, 1B. I think he's like a 1B for me. But number 1A is Blake Corum. I mean, you're talking about just consistency at the position. The dude he's a pro's pro. The guy is a great leader. He's just done it for years. Like, the guy has just been consistent. He was the focal point on that Michigan offense that just won their national championship. Like, he was the guy. Like, it's for me, it's Blake Corum. Like, the guy is just absolutely phenomenal. And any team, hear me, any team will be lucky to have that guy, because not just what he's going to do on the field, but with the type of person that he is, the leader that he is, and the guy that he's going to be off the field. Now I'm going to jump into our wide receivers. Number 5, I'm actually going to go. It's a lot of Oregon love here, but I like Troy Franklin out of Oregon. I think Troy Franklin could be a really good wide receiver. So I'm excited to see what he does. I think Troy Franklin can be, he could be one of good. I'm going to go with Brian Thomas. Brian Thomas Jr. from LSU at number 4. I think this guy can be really, really good. Like, I think that's all I got to say about it. I think he'd be really, really good. Like, I think he'd be really good. Number 2, I'm going to say is Rome Odunze, but it's a 2A, 2B. I said before, if Rome Odunze can show that he can create separation with his routes, if he can show shiftiness and wiggle, then for me, he's going to jump up to 2A. But right now, I have him at 2B, second to Malik Neighbors, and that's the reason why. I want to see, can you show separation with your route running, not just your speed. I want to see, can you show separation with your wiggle, not just your speed? So that's the reason I have Rome Odunze at 2B, Malik Neighbors at number 2A. Absolutely phenomenal. I mean, Malik Neighbors, honestly, in almost any other draft will be probably the number one receiver coming off the board, right? And the difference is he's going against, or he's coming out with a guy named Marvin Harrison Jr. We're talking about a Hall of Fame receiver for the Indianapolis Colts, his son. Like, you had better be nice. And he was. He absolutely was phenomenal this year. Like, there was nobody who could really consistently guard this guy. Marvin Harrison Jr. was absolutely, like, I mean, you're talking about a big body. Like, he's just nice. Like, I like Marvin Harrison Jr. I think he's going to be an immediate impact. I can see him being a number one immediately, depending on what team he goes to. So, yeah, Marvin Harrison Jr. And then when it comes to quarterbacks, all right, so I'm going to go number one, Caleb Williams. I'm going to start that way, right? I'm not going to go 5 up. I'm going to start at number one, Caleb Williams. I think everybody, like, the consensus is Caleb Williams. But it's a 1A for me. I'm going to say 1B, and here's why. The more I watch film of this next guy, the more I'm like, wait a second. He might be just as good. He doesn't have all the arm angles and arm throws that Caleb Williams has. But from throwing a football standpoint, his touch, his accuracy, particularly with the deep ball, like, he can drop it in the buck. Mr. Jaden Daniels, LSU, our Heisman Trophy, is nice. I'm just watching, and then he's got some breakaway speed as well. I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes first. Like, I would not be surprised if he's the first quarterback taken off the board. He's that good. I personally probably would take Caleb Williams. One of the things I do question about Caleb Williams is his hand size. I don't know what his hand size measures at, but when I watch him, he looks like he has small hands. That's concerning me. I don't know though. So So number 2 is Daniels. Number 3, I'm gonna go with Drake May. I think Drake May is that one UNC quarterback that we could see, like, actually be nice. Like, I'm talking about, like, nice. And I know last year Sam Howell in Washington wasn't terrible. He was killing it, honestly, in fantasy. Like, he was doing his thing. But outside of him, and again, that was last year, and they're not really sold on him. UNC hasn't really had quarterbacks come out that's, like, blown people away. I think Drake May can shift that. I said it before. I said UNC seems like the USC of quarterbacks for me. Hopefully Caleb Williams and Drake May can shift the tide in that regard. But yeah, so I'm going to Drake May there at number 3. At number 4, this is going to shock some people, but I don't care. The guy's a leader and just won the national championship. JJ McCarthy. I think he can make any and every throw. Like, let's call it what it is. He can make any and every throw. What's the one thing that separates him for me? And I have why I'm having him at 4 and not 5. His toughness. It's funny. I recently did a mock and I had him at 6. He was outside of my top 5. I'm putting him at number 4. His toughness is amazing. Tyron Smith heading to free agency. Chris dropping a breaking news happened about an hour ago. Tyron Smith is heading to free agency. All right. So if you need a veteran left tackle who, can play half the season, go ahead and pick up Tyron Smith. There you go. I mean, the guy's got to stay on the field. Zachary Caesar, what's going on? We are well. Thank you for joining in. But yes, JJ is at number 4 for me because of his toughness, and he's an amazing leader. And so at number 5, this is where it got tough for me, and I'm sorry because I originally had him in my top 5, but he has now dropped out. Michael Penix is out of my top 5. After watching more film, Bo Nix he slid back into my top 5. He's at number 5. Bo Nix, he seems like he's just like, all right, I'm gonna come in here, I'm gonna ball. Like, I'm gonna just ball. Like, I'm not gonna talk a lot. I'm just gonna play some football. I'm gonna just show y'all that I can play some football. And I like that. I like that type of attitude. And so yeah, it's yeah, it's gonna be that's funny. Coach probably got Smith photoshopped in the Ravens jersey already. That's good. That's good. I love it.
Give me Joe Alt instead of Tyron Smith. I already have a tackle that's only going to be there for half the year. I don't need a tackle for half the year. I need one for the full year.
I love it. I mean, listen, they can split. They can split the year in half.
No. I need one tackle for one full year. I'm not paying $40 million for 2 tackles to play half a year.
All right. Okay. It is what it is. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap it up here for us at the Air It Out podcast. Okay. I had an amazing time doing this. I can't wait to go see what the quarterbacks, the wide receivers, and the running backs are going to do. About to jump off and do that as we speak because it's going on right now. All right. But here's the thing I need y'all to do. Okay, I need y'all to do me a huge favor. I need y'all to go and follow us on all of your social media platforms. Okay, that's Facebook, that's Instagram, that's Twitter. Go and follow Inside the Hashes. But on Twitter, it's Inside Hashes. Okay, everywhere else Inside the Hashes. Go follow us, and then do me a favor. Go to the website www.insidethehashes.com. Okay, check out all of the football content. We got podcasts, we got gaming, we've got interviews with players, we've got blogs, all different things for you. If you are a football fan, go check out the website. Then go over to YouTube, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and then turn on your notifications. That way you can know when we are live and you can get your comments placed in here live like you saw here today. Thank you for everybody who was in the comment section. I want to put this out there too, just one more time, just to throw it out there, because we remember what you said. We remember what you said, Coach. But anyway, we're going to wrap up this podcast. Don't make that confused look. We gave you the cancel coach because you was wishing injury on people. That's why. Yeah, I remember. You thought I forgot. You thought I forgot. You was wishing.
That was a crazy day.
You was out.
That was a long time ago.
That was a crazy day.
We keep bringing up the past. Y'all better start living in the future.
What happens? You out here
Y'all gonna keep living in the past.
That's all I'm saying.
Years over here, remembering championships that's never happening again.
If you don't want to do all those things,
if you're still trying to find one,
scan that QR code right there in the corner. Okay, to take you exactly where you need to be. Go ahead and scan that QR code. Follow us. Do all those things. For Coach Braxton and for Darius, my name is Avery. This is the Air It Out podcast. One thing I want to see from the quarterbacks is do not pat the football like Matt Ryan. Because if you pat
there
the
we
football,
go.
No, I know it's coming.
You
gotta end it like that. You gotta end it like that.
Yeah, no pad.
Stop patting the football.
No pad. I'm loving it.
Don't pat the football.
Patting.
If you